to start the recording. Yeah, but that's what I was saying to Lewis. I'm like, he's like, they're showing like the little fucking promos out back, like him entering the arena with Don Callis and shit like that. I'm like, he's got to come out. Like, there's no reason for him not to come out. Like, he's here. Like, he made the trip. Like, he's got to be in. And then when he came out, we of course like the whole crowd goes up and just starts singing and shit. Like, that was dope.
That was dope. And he was entertaining on commentary. I mean,
for Rampage.
No, we couldn't hear it.
No, we couldn't. We saw him. We saw him when he came out, but it was dope.
So he was doing commentary for that match, and like, he was very entertaining. Like, you get Chris Jericho on the mic. I mean,
you're gonna get something.
He's so witty. He's so witty with some of his comments and such, and he's a true vet. Like,
he did a commentary for the tag match.
Oh yeah, he was on commentary for that match.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he came out for the Rampage show, and that's where we're like, because for that one he just came out and he like cut the song, and then when they did the Rampage recording, we got to like, I was like, oh, give me the full song now, and I was like,
it was funny because he was definitely like when for Blood and Guts, he was like, no, stop singing. He was like this. He was like, no, and then when Rampage to get the crowd up, he was saying like he sung with the crowd and shit like that.
Yeah.
So
okay, all right. Yeah.
Okay. He was playing in the character, but it was dope. It was dope. But welcome to Ring Takes here. Of course, we're talking about AEW Blood and Guts. Of course, Raw recap and also SmackDown as well. But let's get right into it. Of course, I'll start it off. Of course, you guys been to a couple wrestling shows before and been in arenas and that type of atmosphere and stuff like that. That was my first wrestling show. So I got there a little early to see everybody come in with the belts. Everyone had wrestling T-shirts on. It was like you're kind of part of a sorority, right? Like, yo, this is like everyone here is for wrestling. Everyone here is for wrestling. So that was dope for me. And just seeing everything, the atmosphere, walking in with Lewis and stuff like that, and just seeing everybody there, and it's just like, again, like we're all here for wrestling. Like, and again, you guys know I'm not an AEW fan, biggest supporter or anything like that, but just to be in that atmosphere like that was dope, man. That was dope. For sure.
Okay, all right. So I have a question for both of you. When AEW goes to commercial break, what happens in between the commercial break and when they go live?
Honestly, it was not much. They do like the ring. Well, they obviously had to do the ring change stuff for after Blood and Guts, but a couple of times it was more the ring announce. I forget his name. It's the guy with the slick hair. Like the ring announcer was just like calling out people. Yeah, just now he was like calling out people's like signs. He's like, "Oh, you guys pumped to see this person, that person."
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like like some person had a sign like, "Oh, my mom got me these tickets for my birthday," and like, "Happy birthday!" And like, yeah. So it was just like getting like the crowd hyped, whatever, or just like keeping the energy up. So
yeah, that was dope. Like he was like just pointing out signs and just talking. And he was like, "Hey, they're listening backstage." So he was playing that angle as well. He was like, "Hey, if you scream if you cheer for them, they might come out."
Yeah.
So that was dope. But we can get into it. Of course, we start off with Hook and Jungle Boy, and
hold up, nope. Jungle Boy is officially dead. It is now just Jack Perry. Okay.
No, my bad. Oh yeah, Jack Perry. My bad. Let's respect the wrestlers. Jack Perry came out, and of course they had like the little. I like the little promo they had in the beginning when he's burying Hook in the desert. Like I like that. That was kind of dope.
No, I think that was him burying Jungle Boy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, because the body he was dragging had the Jungle Boy boots. So that was him burying Jungle Boy.
So doing that, I'm like, I like that type of thing. Like this is a whole different iteration of his character and all that. And then his music hit, and I'm like, this is his music.
Yeah,
the Beethoven.
I was so mad. I'm like, I can't believe they're doing that. But
I'm like, I even asked him I was like, "Is this William Regal's song?" I'm like, I knew it wasn't, but it just gave me that vibe, and I'm like,
yeah, most definitely. And I was sitting there, I'm like, yo, is he supposed to be like a Shinsuke Nakamura type now? Like he's going to be putting on like classic matches and do that type of thing? And I'm like, I just don't see how the music fits his character.
Yeah,
but I mean, he's still trying to figure it out. He's definitely.
I think their thinking was, we need to get, since his character is 100% different, we need to get something that's so left field away from the Tarzan Boy song that it has to be something of that nature. And Beethoven's Symphony, I mean, that is as left field as you can get. It really show that, like, okay, this is a change. Jungle Boy is dead and gone. Now we're gonna go.
I would have took the generic rock music or something.
Yo, legit. I would have took. You could have thrown anything in there. I don't know. See, for me, I don't know. I think, and I get it. You got to change with the times, and you don't want to get like stale. Like, obviously, he broke away from Luchasaurus, which honestly, I felt like when they were like, what was it before? Because it was before him and Luchasaurus, but weren't they like Jurassic Express or something like that before? Yeah, I thought that was actually like a solid faction. And then I know the other dude that was with them kind of fell through the cracks, and I think he left or whatever. But
Marco Stunt, they let him go.
Yeah, I don't know. I think his song was just so classic. Like, it just picked up from like, I feel like from like the first AEW show, just the like, it was just so classic. And now that it's like gone, it's like, and I don't know, him just being a heel now, for me, it's not clicking right now. I'm not feeling it.
And
just
especially
from
him especially being an AEW original, that music goes with him, right? Like, so that
exactly,
he's always had that song, and that type of heel, and now it's gone. Now they're trying something different.
It's basically like if Chris Jericho just got rid of Judas, it's like, why? Why would you hurt us? What would you? I wouldn't mind that. I'm not gonna lie, but still, it's like, But I get it. Everybody needs a change at some point, and maybe he wants to be a heel and see how it goes. But for me, I mean, hey, they gave him the title, but like I was telling Dan in the show, I'm like, this title's barely ever defended. It's just there. It's not really considered like.
I mean, technically, it's not officially recognized, but
as an AEW title.
It's just kind of like, hey, let me challenge you for it, and it's just like, okay.
Like, pretty much, and I understand, because I get what they're doing with him and Hook. Like, everyone loves Hook. Like, he's badass. Like, we know Hook. He's Taz's son. All that type of lineage and stuff like that. Give Jungle Boy the win here over a heel. He cheated to win, of course. And basically, that's going to help his character grow. And again, this is building blocks for him. But it's just so random to see him not be Jungle Boy, right? Like, even as a person who's not watching AEW regularly, it's like, this guy's Jungle Boy. Like, that's how I know him. He's the underdog. He fights from underneath. And now he's going to be a conniving heel. And we're seeing how that works. And it's just like, from the music to everybody in the ring, it's like, it's just, we're waiting. It's building, but right now it's just like, we don't know where it's going to go. We don't know how it's going to go.
Even like when we were at the show, Dan said, he's like, wait a minute, he's heel now? Just put him back together with Luchasaurus.
Like, they're heels now. I mean, they're
and I'm like, they could, but he probably still has beef with Christian. And that's the thing, like, I felt like he had good momentum when he broke away from Luchasaurus, and like the cage match that they had, kind of ending or was it Cat? No, Cass's match was with Christian, but I think they had a cage match. Yeah. And I'm like, bro, this is a good like little transition for you. Like, yeah, you're still Jungle Boy. Maybe he just wanted to get rid of Jungle Boy and like, I want to be like my own guy. Maybe that's.
Eventually he had to evolve. I mean, you could be Jungle Boy for forever. Like, as the years go by, like, he eventually had to evolve out of that character. So, but I mean, it's gonna be one of those things that's gonna have to grow on me too.
Yeah,
I am used to seeing him as a Jungle Boy as well. But it'll be interesting. It's just something just a change, just something you gotta get used to. But
I think I'm just being a little selfish. I'm like just be Jack Perry, but keep the song.
Just keep your music, so we know.
Just keep the music. I really like the song, and I just wanted to go.
Exactly.
In one time.
It's funny, when they played the music, I was like, "Yo, didn't this dude just say a couple of weeks ago that he wasn't fucking with this no more?"
Exactly.
I just want he said that. But then they cut to the Titantron video, and it was I was like, okay, all right, yeah, Barry and
Like,
boy, he's Jack Perry. Okay.
I get it. We'll see how it goes. Like, because I don't know. I think after that Four Pillars match, it kind of showed his promo work.
Exactly. And I think that's the exact reason why they went in this direction, because after that whole Four Pillar storyline, honestly, he looked the weakest out of the four. I mean, it was MJF, then Darby, and then Sammy, and then it was him. So at least to me, that's how it look. Maybe flip flop Sammy and Darby, but Jungle Boy was exactly like the least like favorite guy coming out of going into and going out of that match. So this change was it's going to be an adjustment, but you know we'll see as that time goes on.
It needs a different song though.
I mean, again, the match was what it was. Of course, it got Jungle Boy over. Now he has this title that's not recognized by AEW, but at least he has that. He has some type of bragging rights. He's probably just going to become more of a prick, more of an asshole, more conniving, and we'll see how it goes. We'll see if he's able to pull it off and be able to build up a little bit. So we'll see how that goes.
Even crazier to think, it's like you have this title being defended on Blood and Guts, and it's like, where the hell's TBS Championship?
Where's everything?
Like since he won it, we haven't even like seen him.
True. And it's like we'll eventually see him, but it's just like it's interesting to see where they're going to go with this. But of course, the next match, the blind eliminated tournament to determine tag team titles. Contenders for the tag team titles: Sammy Guera and David Garcia versus MJF and Adam Cole. Was entertaining to say the least. Of course, the pre-match promo where they go to Kowloon.
See, all right, on a side note, I've never been to the Kowloon restaurant. People tell me
what is wrong with you guys? What is wrong with you guys?
I've had the wings.
People have been telling me how good it is, and I always wanted to go, but then I never went before I moved out here. So
no, so unless you live in the area, you probably will never go, and only because my kid's mother's like her family is up north, so that was just like where they would go for like birthdays and everything. So and then I had the Saugus wings, and they were chef's kiss, like. They're like they got their Chinese food, they got their sushi and stuff, but you have those wings. That sauce is amazing. And I'm like, when I saw Kowloon's, I was like, oh, because a lot of like comedy acts go there. Dolph Ziggler's done stand up there. Like a lot of celebrities always like stuff there.
I heard Bruce Pritchard and Conrad Thompson, they did like a live something to wrestle with from there.
They did.
A lot of people have been there, and they have a lot of photos with I think like The Rock's been there, Cena's been there, a bunch of other celebrities have been there and like signed pic. They have like when you walk through to go get seated, you see a bunch of photos.
Got to check when they have celebrities or somebody coming in, because I know a lot of wrestlers go up there for like signings and shit like that, and they do like little shows and Q&As and stuff like that when they go there. So definitely.
I think I saw one of the dudes from why am I spacing on the team? Hawk, or who was the one who passed? The other
Animal
one, the brother.
Hawk,
I think one of them was like signing
Road Warriors.
Road Warriors. There we go. I don't know why I forgot the name. I think they did a signing there. I think maybe Jake the Snake did a signing there one time. So definitely like it's a good spot, and I mean, I guess I've been talking about, because it's like it's a family owned restaurant, and I guess the owners aren't trying to continue. Well, they're trying to like retire, and then the kids are like, we don't know if we want to keep doing this. So it's like up in the air where the restaurant's going to go or not.
It's like, all right, so let me get there before they leave.
Hey, let's do a dinner. Let's do a dinner.
But the segment in of itself from there, I mean, this is probably one of their more entertaining storylines that they have right now. Matter of fact, I think this may be their best storyline right now with MJF and Adam Cole, because you're just waiting for it, and I know eventually it's coming with this tag team match coming up, and you actually saw signs of it at the end of this tag team match. But before we actually get into the match, like I just have to ask you guys, the dance segment at the beginning.
Yep.
I mean, please, from the both of you, describe the atmosphere of the crowd and everything live as that was going on. I really want to know.
First, when David Garcia does this thing and they're going back and forth. Like that's David Garcia, like we've talked about it. He doesn't have like a character right now or anything like that. But this simply doing this, everyone's like
they get so hyped, and it's just it's like it's the most randomest thing I've probably ever seen. And it's just he just did it out of nowhere where everybody's like, what the fuck is that? And then it's like, yo, that's fire. He's just running with it, yeah.
And then to have him and MJF started off that way, and it's just MJF, of course, being a heel and stuff like that, just kind of just showing him up. And then you see MJF leave, and he goes over to like the music guy, and then he hits the music. Everyone's like, "Oh shit, they're about to have a dance off." And of course, I got the recording of MJF breakdancing. I think I got Adam Cole's part too, but it's just like. It was just good fun. Like it's just like goofy wrestling. Like it's just fun. It was just entertaining. And I'm just
all right. So watching it from home. At first I was like, okay, this is what they're gonna do. All right, let's see. It's something different, from a company who prides themselves on their wrestling and on their athletes. And who said from jump that their wrestling was going to be an alternative to the WWE? At first, when I was watching it, but then I watched it. I mean, I was like, yeah, this is funny. This is entertaining. So I actually went on to WrestlingInc.com, and they have like a chats that go up when they do like the live shows and such. So there was an AEW Dynamite chat, and I was just looking at what some of the fans were saying in response. And some of the fans were saying, "This isn't WWE. We don't want to see this. We just want to see the wrestling. I mean, why would you have your world champ doing this? They don't even do that in WWE." And then I literally looked at it and I said, "Okay, I'm gonna just say this: the next time that WWE does something similar to this, I don't want to hear a goddamn thing from y'all being critical about it, because now your company is following the same blueprint, because they realize that it takes more than just having great athletes and great wrestling to sell wrestling. It takes great characters. It takes great storyline. It takes entertaining sports entertainment stuff like a dance off. Which by the way. I did start dying when Adam Cole started thrusting his hips.
Yeah. Like, first of all, like the whole thing about it is that everyone in attendance loved it, because everyone was just laughing and having. Everybody knew what it was. It was fun at that moment, especially getting MJF, and then of course Adam Cole coming in later doing it. Even Sammy Guerrero and David Garcia doing their whole little thing. Like, that's entertaining. It was fun. It was fun. So I mean.
This is the thing. It's like I hate that. Like, the second one show does something, oh look, they're copying them. It's like they're just having fun. Like, yes, and you act like, really, like, is this really the first comedy bit you've ever seen on AEW? Like, come on.
Yeah. I'm gonna be serious. When AEW does stuff like this, it almost makes them seem like they're in on the joke too. So
because if you think about it, look at all the stuff that. When Chris Jericho and Sammy were doing the whole, like, the posing thing, like when they were first in the inner circle and all that stuff, that shit was hilarious. Then it was MJF did a fucking musical shit, like the man can actually sing, and he had like a live band there and shit. I'm like, dude, like these people are more than just this, like, care. Oh, this is just a heel. This is just like, no. Look at the range MJF has. Like, this dude can be the most despicable person you've ever met to one of the funniest people that on a whim will just, like, have you dying. And that segment with the Kowloons was like, to go from that and then just like, yo, let's just have a dance off. It's like, this tag team thing is all like good and fun and it's entertaining. And yeah, we all know the heel turn is coming. And like me and Dan were talking about, we're like, it's definitely going to be Adam Cole, who's probably gonna, like, I feel like he needs it at this point, because it's like, oh, you're actually suckering in MJF, and boom, you got the hints of. Which, I mean, they can go either way about it, but we know this is going to turn into a feud.
And I'm just saying this about MJF before we go there. I just wanted to say one thing about MJF. I mean, he is so entertaining as a character. The man got a body slam and a tope suicide dive through the ropes over more than any other move that a superstar has done.
I've never seen that before.
I heard the reaction when he hit the suicide dive and how the crowd went crazy. So I can only imagine.
No, like when he did the first one, when he was running back through the ropes back and forth and he wouldn't do it, and he was like, "No, I'm not doing that shit." Like, no, like playing into the crowd. And then actually getting that over, like it's awesome. It's awesome. That's not in his wrestling repertoire. That's not what he does. He's not a high flyer. So for him to even do that was dope. But I just
his facial reaction after he hit it was just priceless. I'm like,
like everybody was hyped because it's like,
like I'm gonna do it this one time. This one time I'm gonna do it.
And then again, just to go back to the dance off, like Adam Cole doing that part and then looking silly and everybody's like, yo, don't dance. Like that got him over in a sense too, because it's like he's being funny, he's breaking character a little bit from being serious and stuff like that. So I mean, it worked out for everybody. That's the thing, and it worked out for everybody. As the match, the double clothesline as a finisher is just hilarious to me because it's like, are you kidding me?
They've been building it up for weeks, so that's why when they won with it, I was like, all right, yeah. I mean, they built. It's funny. They kind of have to use it at some point.
It's funny, and it's like, yo, they're doing a double clothesline. It's not like a deaf device or anything like that off the top rope or anything like that. It's a running clothesline, and it's funny. But I'm like, it worked. It worked. The match was what it was. Like it wasn't like everybody got their shit in. It was entertaining. It was fun. FTR coming out like. That was epic. Like their music, again, my little critique, of course, of always is going to be the presentation of the music. I'm like, it needs to be louder. That's my one thing. But when the FTR music hit, like that their music is dope. I was like, yo, that's badass.
Like, it fits so well.
Music.
Yeah, it fits so well with the theme of the theme of their entrance. It's like perfect. It's like that old school, like, yo, we're a tag team and we fuck shit up here, and it's like top guys, like
you can tell the mood change. and then again, another critique: the belts are dope. I will say that, like from where we were, like those belts are dope.
They shine.
Like, you see it on camera and stuff like that, but in person, it's like, yo, that's dope. Like those, as Lewis said, those titles are actually tag team titles, not the nickel and dime tag team titles that WWE has.
I had a feeling that was a conversation between y'all when they came out the titles.
It was the first thing Lewis said to me as they came out. He was like, "Those are real tag team titles." He was like, "Yes, they are."
I was like, the only improvement WWE did is they went from pennies to nickels, and I'm like, dude, those tag titles are so sad looking. I'm like, you can barely see what is even on them until they like actually show the titles and like the two helmets and shit, and I'm like, yo, they look so faded and they're just fucking silver. It's like
they need a do-over. They need a change. Yeah. Like if anything needs a change, it's those tag team titles. They didn't.
I don't know why it's taking so long.
The U.S. title. All the other titles, it's like, all right, whatever tag titles you guys come up with, please do it fast. Please.
Either the person who's making them is like, hey, we got to make 4 titles. This is gonna take some time. It's like, God damn, it's been how long? It shouldn't. It really shouldn't.
Shouldn't be that hard.
Slap some gold. Just put WWE Tag Champs and put a world symbol. Like it's not that fucking hard.
Just do something. Do something.
Nope. The big logo has to still be smack in the middle of it.
Branding. Yep.
They're screening it to kids to see which is the best one.
When you look at the old belts, like especially during the 90s and 2000s, it was just the logo in the middle at the top, and then the rest of the belt was there. Like that was fine. That was fine. Like you don't. It doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't. But we took a break and went to the back to get refreshments. One critique here. $6 for a soda is egregious, TD Garden. If you're ever going to listen to this, I'm going to tag you guys in the video. $6 for a bottle of soda is egregious.
Now, this is
75 cents for Dasani water at that.
This is how you know. This is how you know Dan doesn't go to like sporting events or any of these. You don't know about the prices.
And stuff like that, but I went to a Celtics game a while ago. But my whole thing is like, I get the markup in prices, but if you're gonna give me water, Dasani water,
it's a business. That's all you get. That's all you can say. It's a business. They gotta get this.
It's all Coke products.
And I know people be willing to pay for it to watch because of the content, the product. So they'll raise the prices.
That was the one thing before we got to the Blood and Guts. I was just like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
The one cool moment, though, is that because they were setting up the ring and we were waiting in line, and there was it wasn't a massive line. It was a small line, but obviously the people in the back, behind the concession thing were like running around. But right as we got our drinks, and we're like, oh, it's starting. Boom, fucking Claudio is just walking right in front of us. We're like, oh, like, what up?
We're coming, they're like, it's starting. So we're running out and we hear Claudio's music. We're like, oh shit, we're missing it. First of all, I hate that we missed the cage lower. And I'm like, we missed the cage. But we come up and the guy's like, hold up, where you guys going? And we're like, we're walking this way. And Claudio was just walking
yes, it was literally us, the guy, and then Claudio's just right there.
He's walking, so that was the dope part about it. Like where we were, we can actually see them behind us walking back into the cage, like Blackpool Combat Club. You can actually see them coming out, so that was dope.
Right there.
I like Brian. This is the part where I was pissed, right? So where we were, there was like a little gap there. So I'm like, okay. And there was the security guy that just kept walking back and forth between there, going, "Hey, can you guys just make room? Can you guys clear out of here?" And all this other stuff. So we're thinking somebody's gonna come through.
I'm like, yo, John Moxley's about to come through. Blah, blah, blah.
Like somebody's gonna come through right here. Like that's dope. And he just kept clearing it out like every 5 minutes. So we're like, okay, like somebody's gonna come. And like, oh, and we're thinking that we're all sitting there, like a couple of us are there. I'm like, oh, maybe it's Don Callis. He runs in, breaks in somehow. He's gonna come. Maybe that's why they're keeping it clear because they kept walking around. No, nobody walked down next to us. Nobody. Just the security guard being a dope. I'm like, dude, get the fuck out of here.
We thought it was gonna be something that was nothing. Got us so hyped, and we're like,
like everybody was in the ring, and we're like, no one's coming through here. Nah, but it was cool. I have the video of Pac walking by as well. Like, it's just dope seeing him that close. Like, he's short, but he's jacked. Like, that was the one thing we saw. Like, we're sitting there, we're like, it's Pac, but he's like, I'm like, oh shit, it was dope seeing him, and the match was crazy as usual. I got a couple of clips there of that as well. Of course, John Moxley coming into Wild Thing is dope. Everyone's singing it in Boston. He comes in. Was that a screwdriver he had?
What
was
I believe it was. Yes, it was.
Yeah.
And he comes in just. I'm like, we're sitting there like as soon as we hear him, I was like, oh well, people are gonna start bleeding now. He comes in instantly with the screwdriver, just
It was like the same GCW.
Yeah, we're saying GCW's coming. Like Nick Gage is going to come in with the light tube.
Pizza cutter.
Okay, so I will say this much. So I caught like the beginning of the match with Kenny Omega and Claudio, but then I had to go put my son down for bed, so I didn't really come back and see the majority of the match until everybody was in there.
Oh damn.
So from what I saw, which was pretty much like from the middle towards the end, I mean, it was a lot of chaos, and obviously from a television perspective, you know, AEW's production is already shaky at best when it comes to certain things. So you know, action would be going on in one ring that's more important, but they would have the camera elsewhere. So I can only imagine what you guys watching live with the action directly in front of you. You know, how did you guys manage that? Well, like viewing, like
it was a little tough because of the double ring, and then like when they were especially when Claudio and Omega started in the first ring over there, everyone was like, "Use this ring." this, really? And then Kenny, and then of course Kenny threw him in there, and everyone's like, "Yeah," because it's like,
and it was literally right next to us. You just see half the crowd just stand up. They're like, "Use this ring, use this ring," because we're like, "Yo, y'all, every match has been in that ring. Get the fuck over here so we can see some shit."
No, it was a little difficult to see certain things, especially if it was on the other side while people were in this ring, and then a big move like when they brought out the tax, when John Moxley was throwing the tax down and stuff like that. You didn't see it until like there was a little, and that was another thing too. Like they didn't utilize the screen, of course, because of the cage and stuff like that, like and stuff like that. So it was a little hard to see on the other side, but you can kind of get the gist of what was going on and seeing it a little bit. But no, the match overall was just chaotic. Of course, Kenny, John Moxley just the tax and bleeding,
the nails,
the nails in the board and stuff like that.
So I did see that with the damn nails. I'm like, what are we doing now? Wow.
I'm sitting there and I'm like, I was me and Lucy. I was like, I'll go through a table. I'll even jump off a ladder. I'll fall off a ladder, but I'm not going in tax. And I'm not going on a bed of nails. No, thank you. No. You wouldn't
do Otis and the Lego pieces.
I'll do that. Like, nah, man.
No, them shit still hurt like hell though. Hold on.
Yeah, they do.
Kids stepping on the Lego barefoot. Oh God.
Throw the whole day away, man. But nah, the match was crazy, chaotic. Pac having that interaction with Claudio. Of course, I was in the beginning when they got in that first little brush up. I was like, "Oh, something's gonna happen here."
Yeah.
For him to leave and then Yuta to get beat up like that, like he bled like crazy. I was like, "Yo."
Now this is another thing. So when the Elite actually had Wheeler Yuta wrapped up in the ropes and they were choking him, the way that the television presented it was that the referee, he's getting choked, and then they just rang the bell, and then the commentary said after they went through some highlights that it was Moxley that was the one that surrendered. So live, did it look like it was Moxley that surrendered, or was it Wheeler?
I don't even think I thought it
was Yuta, but and I know in War Games, Blood and Guts, I know like whoever's in there can like call off the match. I know that. Like that has happened.
You win by submission or surrender. So
yeah.
So did Wheeler tap out, or did?
It's probably that. It's probably Moxley. It's probably that Yuta was getting choked out. Moxley was like, no, like stop, like end it because he's getting choked out and nobody can help him. So it might be that.
Yeah,
but it definitely looked like Yuta like either tapped because he was literally choking him with the chain. And he's like, from our view, you just see. And then you just hear the fucking bell ring.
Yeah. The match was chaotic. Like, which one of the Young Bucks were on the top there?
I think it was I forget. I think it's Matt. Nick. Might have been Matt.
When they were doing the slam,
that was
Matt Jackson, right?
When they were doing the suplexes, I was like, oh shit.
That's what I'm saying too. I'm like, yeah, okay. He's readjusted himself. I'm like, all right, because I'm like, if he just keeps going forward, shit, yo. I'm like, I mean, we know he ain't gonna throw him, but damn.
Brian, I don't know if you saw online, but since we were there, obviously, at one point, you heard every single chant. We want tables. This is awesome. But then the first time ever. So for the first time ever for me and Darius, I've never heard people chant, "We want fire." They said, "We want fire," and I don't know if they showed that on TV or heard it, but it was literally chanting, "We want fire."
Because we were chanting, we were all chanting, "We want." We were all chanting, "We want tables."
Rhodes, man.
We were like, "We want tables." And then they brought the table. Everyone's like, yeah. They put it in the ring. And then all of a sudden, like this subsection over there just started, "We want fire." And he didn't understand it at first. And then they just kept going. And it was like, they're saying, "We want fire."
I know they heard that in the ring and we're like, yeah, oh, yeah. Okay.
Hey, we already doing enough crazy shit.
Nobody playing this shit tonight. We didn't go over this tonight. We're not improvising that. No.
It's like we already went over enough crazy shit as it is. Like,
yeah, but for me, definitely a big highlight, and probably just because I've seen more of his matches, is just Kota Ibushi. I'm like, Kota Ibushi is just fucking. Mind you, yeah, that his debut is in a Blood and Guts match, but when this man finally gets to have a match, I'm gonna be watching that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's that dude.
He's a hard hitter. Like,
some of the kicks you heard, just smacking people, you're like, yeah, or even just his chops to her, like him and the other dude, Takeshka. That dude's hard. You could tell he has that New Japan style. Like they hit hard as hell.
Yeah, and apparently Ibushi hadn't wrestled in like 4 months. So apparently, he wasn't like at his best. But from what I saw, he looked great. So he was great. Yeah, because I remember seeing him in the Cruiserweight Classic.
What happened to Takeshka? Because he was just randomly not there.
So they said that because Don Callis was on commentary for the match, and right after Pac left, it was he saw it was 5-on-4. He got it from commentary and signaled for Takeshka like, "Go get the hell out of here. It's already a disadvantage. I'm not risking you. Like, get out of there. Get out of there." Don Callis told Takeshka to get out of there. Mm-hmm. I think that's how the commentary explained it, because even I was confused. I'm like, all right, why is he pulling his man out? I mean,
because all of a sudden it was 5-on-3. I'm like, what the hell's going on?
I'm still surprised that even like Daniel Bryan. Well, I mean, I guess he is injured, but like probably would still come out for like commentary, I guess. But he probably isn't going to do that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I thought so, but
that's what we were saying too. Like, heal up, Daniel. Come on, man.
I would have loved to have seen him there.
That type of match. And Kota Ibushi, I don't know if they showed this on television when he jumped in the tax. Did they show that?
No, I think that was way after. I don't think they even showed.
That was after. Yeah, nah.
That was way after.
What was the last thing?
I saw the photo online after of his back. And I'm like, he jumped in. What was this? I don't remember.
Dude, he purposely because Matt dropped the tacks down, and then obviously they were used. But then towards the end, I don't think they showed this on TV. But Kenny was just like talking like, I love this. I'm gonna keep going till I can't go. But for one night, as much as you guys might hate me, and we can keep doing this, blah blah blah. Yeah, he was just like, I respect you guys. He's like, let bygones be bygones, but just shake my hand if you want. But I respect each and every one of you. And then they shook hands. I thought for a second, they were just still gonna brawl again. But obviously, the guy started walking out, and then right before Ibushi left, I just saw him standing, and he just goes, "What?" and flat backs on the nails, and then he's just like, yo, I'm in this now. Like this, I'm AEW, and you just see his back is just covered in tacks.
Everyone's looking at him like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Like, because I guess it was just random and everything, and he just jumps in the tacks. Like, what?
It was like his own. It was like his own personal initiation for some reason.
Yeah.
I see if he fucked himself up, I'm like,
I've always wondered if they would either not file them down, but maybe bend the spike so it doesn't I don't know. I don't think I've ever had a tack shoved into my back. So
willing participants in having the spikes in them, because it's they're not long. They're little tacks, but I mean that shit still hurts. That shit
impact. Yeah.
So I'm like, nah. I wouldn't want to do that.
Don't skip back day.
That's not acupuncture, man. No, especially the way they're doing it now.
For John Moxley, it is.
Yeah, man.
I just laugh because when he's coming in, walking in the ring, and we're all just like, all right, now there's gonna be blood, and instantly he comes in and just
and that's another thing that people kept chanting out. Every time he did something like that, where the nails or the spikes or whatever, they're like, "You sick fuck, you sick fuck, you sick fuck."
Yo, it is crazy, man. I don't know. Again, as I said, I'll go through a table, I'll fall off a ladder, but going through tacks and nails and spikes, I don't think I can ever just muster up the courage to do that. Like, nah.
I'd do tax once and be like, depending on how it goes, I'm like, all right, I might do this again.
Nah, man. Nah, not tax, man. Nah, them guys are a lot tougher than me. But first wrestling show went great. Loved it. Loved the atmosphere. Of course, all the fans walking in with belts, the shirts and stuff like that. So that was dope. I just loved every moment of it. It was awesome. It was dope. As well as Rampage happened afterwards as well. They had a 20-man battle royal. Apparently, it was for the TNT Championship, number one contendership, not the World Heavyweight Championship.
Oh, okay.
So
I thought it was
Darby Allin.
It's really Darby again. I should have given Swerve a chance.
Yeah, that's what we were saying. Like, I said Jake Hager because he came out. I'm like, what has he been doing? I'm like, I thought this guy was gonna be dope. Like, especially going to AEW. Like, I thought he was gonna make a name for himself, and he's just a lackey.
Yeah, the last 6 months, it's been pure lackey. That stupid ass hat. I like this hat. I like this hat.
Yeah.
That's literally all he's been doing is walking around saying, "I like this hat." And I'm like, yo, bro, what happened to the Jake Hager that on like the first episode or the second episode of Dynamite, Chris Jericho told everyone to stop chanting "We the People" and make it realize who the hell Jake Hager is. That he ain't that Jack Swagger that he was in WWE. Like, what happened to that guy? Who's the guy that was undefeated?
That guy disappeared real quick.
Gone. Now he's a hat guy.
But it's funny, yeah, because for I thought it was for the World Heavyweight, and I'm like,
yeah,
oh, okay. I'm like looking at everybody in this match. I'm like, there's
none of
only
these guys
like
fit that bill.
I'm like, there's probably 3 people here, and I'm like, of course, Darby. I'm like, Swerve is definitely like a big one. I'm surprised Keith Lee wasn't in it or whatever, but they're not using him properly at all. And then I was like, maybe Brian Cage, because they're kind of giving him a push. And then, you got Bill. Bill was getting like a lot of love over there. Everybody was like, Bill. Hey, yo, he was just looking at us and he's like, you're cheering for me? He's like, yeah, let's fucking go.
Nah, but he's huge. Like, those dudes are huge. Like, Brian Cage, like, his fucking muscles, I'm like his muscles are
bulging. He's bulging.
I'm like, damn.
That's the funny thing about Brian Cage. He's not a bodybuilder. That's a wrestler. He's a wrestler that's built like a bodybuilder.
Mm-hmm.
And like he actually has like he can do backflips and all that.
Bro, he flies.
He's actually a wrestler. He's just built like a bodybuilder. He's not like a guy that started in bodybuilding and then just started to wrestle. He started wrestling and then he just
jacked
built
up.
Like that.
He just got jacked.
That man takes, I don't know what he takes, but I only saw like the beginning. I think he was promoting some like pre-workout or protein or whatever, but the dude who was doing it with him, he was like, "Oh, you want to take a little pre-workout, concoction I make?" It was like this and that and blah 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 blah. And he's just like, dude, he's like, it's all the same stuff. Just take it. And he's just like, you drink this every time before you work out, like it's just to get like fucking pumps and get more reps and all the energy and shit. And I'm like, that man, he probably works out like crazy.
Nah, it's crazy. Like, he did a 619 in the match. I'm like, yo, he's that jacked doing that stuff, man. Like, he's athletic, and I'm just like, wow. Of course, Jake Hager got thrown out like in 5 minutes, so my pick was gone right away. And Lewis is like, I told you.
I was like, there's no way this guy's getting the push right now.
Lewis, did you pick Darby?
He said it was either going to be Darby or Swerve.
I was honestly hoping for Swerve, and I was like, and I thought he was finally gonna get it, and I was like, okay, I'm happy with Darby. But now that it's for the TBS, I'm like, Swerve probably could use that title more and probably promote it more than what it's doing right now. So, and Darby's already
established.
Yeah, he's already like, I think he's a 2-time TNT champion, isn't he?
I know he had it once.
Darby. You talking about Darby?
Mm-hmm. Or am I thinking Wardlow?
Yeah, Wardlow is the 2-time champion. I think Darby has held it. So Darby, Wardlow.
Didn't he beat Rusev? I think for it, or he beat
Wardlow.
Miro, or I forget who beat who.
But definitely the swerve would it should have gotten it, I think, because the way he was going in the match, like throwing out Bill, basically helping Brian Cage get eliminated. I'm like, he got to win it. It adds to his character. The embassy is new. It's like they need something. I'm like, at least that would have been a nice little rub to swerve. But Darby Allin getting that opportunity against Luchasaurus at some point. So that was a good match. Jeff Jarrett was in it as well.
Jeff Jarrett.
Yo, Lewis hates that guy. I'm like, yeah, as soon as his music hit, everyone's like, yeah. And Lewis is just like, no.
Like come why? On, man.
It's Jeff Jarrett, man. Nah, that music hits every time. I don't care. That music hits every time. Matt Hardy was in it as well. And we're like, all we kept talking about is like how he's walking. It's like, yo, dude, whatever braces you have on your legs, like you can't move, man.
They're not helping you anymore. Like you gotta,
both Hardy brothers. It's just like, guys, well, it's done, man. You carried it as long as you could. I mean, I've never seen any guys that have gone this long with the style that they worked. I mean, Jeff Hardy is still, doing the Swanton. He's still being that guy. We all know about his legal trouble recently, but you can just see it's just like, guys, it's just time to hang it. It's either hang it up or you guys gonna have to change your style completely. And I don't think they're willing to do that because that's who they are. That's
Team Extreme. But I did see a clip, and it was, I don't know if it was right before he left or whatever, but it was like, how he like, I think he was trying to go for and he just like he jumped up and then he slipped off, and it was just like everybody's like, ugh. And I'm like, it might be time to retire that move. You're not. The youthful legs aren't there anymore, probably. But
man, it was good. It was just good to see all those guys and in that battle royal and stuff like that. Of course, we had the Acclaim and Daddy Ass versus QTV. Which I'm still trying to figure out what they're doing or who they are and stuff like that.
They're like parodying like TMZ. It's like
yeah.
And I don't know.
It's a parody of TMZ. That's all.
And even Dan mentioned, I was like, this dude basically helped Powerhouse Hobbs get the title, and then Hobbs lost the title dumb fast. And I'm like, why are they? I don't know. That TNT Championship is just like, y'all don't have any like legit plans for this title. Yeah. At this point on, it almost kind of feels like the 24/7 championship because it's just like, give him the title. It's just like, what are you guys doing? Like, this should be like the IC title. Like, what do you guys?
For your company. It should be. But I mean,
it should be the workhorse.
They do have Orange Cassidy holding up.
Yeah, that's the workhorse title right now.
Defending against everybody. I think that's like a highlight of the week now. Who's Orange Cassidy in his face?
Triple threats, fatal four ways, like goddamn.
Yeah, but that's the workhorse title for sure. Chris Statlander defeated
Marina Shafir.
So I never seen Chris Statlander, so it was cool to see her come out, and that finished the night. Everyone got out of there. But it was a good show overall. I thought it was good for what it was. Blood and Guts was awesome. So definitely impressed by AEW up close and personal as my first show. Hopefully we'll go to more. Hopefully, Brian, you're able to join us. Hopefully we're able to set up that more because that was dope. Just being in that atmosphere was dope, man. That was dope.
I love going to wrestling shows.
Yeah. So we can get into Raw moving forward here.